Rich Woods is a member in my huge Apple community on Google+. And he made a great video with a walkthrough of all the new features in iOS 9. And that video made me quite tempted to try out iOS 9 myself. So Rich Woods helped me install iOS 9 Beta 1, and I have tried that for a couple of days now. And I must say that it's a really nice operating system. This version is a huge step forward for iOS. And one of the things I like the most is actually a very simple thing, and that's the new Back to App button you have at the top left corner in iOS 9 now. So for example, if you are in the new search feature in iOS 9 and you click on a search result and a app opens with a document, for example, and then when you have done reading that document and you want to go back where you were, so then you can click on that Back to App button and you go back exactly where you left off in the search result in this example. It makes it so easy to share. For example, if I am in Nuzzle and I open a web page in Safari and read it there and do stuff with it, maybe blogging about the article or something, and then want to go back to Nuzzle exactly where I left off, then I just click on that button and I go back to Nuzzle exactly where I were. And also the new touchpad feature that makes it possible to use your display. Also it works on the iPhone and the iPad. So by tapping with 2 fingers on the display, you can use the complete display for navigating and moving the cursor, for example. So the whole display gets a touchpad, so you can mark up text and you can select text and everything. And this works not only with Apple's keyboard, it works with any third-party keyboard too, because it's not the keyboard this feature is built in. So you can click anywhere on the display with 2 fingers, and then you can use 2 fingers to move the cursor in a text editor, for example. Really cool. And the new Siri and Apple's new intelligence, that they call it, is very impressive, even with Swedish actually. Siri can now do a lot more things than before, and she understands what I'm saying much easier now, much better. And Siri also learns my habits. So for example, when I'm in my car and my iPhone connects to my stereo through Bluetooth, she wants me to start listening to podcast or an audiobook, for example. So that's pretty nifty. The new search is not so good here in Sweden yet though. I don't see any real use for the new search, so hopefully that will be better when it's released. And other things I like is, for example, the new photo scrub feature. So when you're in the Photos app, you can scrub down below through all your photos really fast. That's pretty nifty. And I also like the new app switcher interface in when you swipe up, for example, on the iPad, or double tap on the home button to switch to another app. That new interface is really good and looks really nice. But unfortunately it has a lot of bugs too. And the biggest problem with iOS 9 Beta 1 is the huge battery drain. It has a terrible battery life now, my iPhone 6, after installing iOS 9 Beta 1. So it only lasts for a couple of hours and then it's totally empty. So I can't say that anyone should install the Beta 1 because it's terrible. Another bad bug is that I can't connect to the iTunes store now with iOS 9 Beta 1, and that's probably because I am in Sweden and uses the Swedish App Store and not the US version. Other bugs like that I, for example, can't download large files on mobile data now, even if I force the app to allow downloading over mobile data. I can't do that. So for example, in Overcast, when downloading huge podcast episodes, for example. I can't do that over mobile data now, so I need to use it on Wi-Fi. Another bad bug for me personally is that Flipboard doesn't work so good, and you know how important Flipboard is for me. I use Flipboard a lot, and if I want to share, for example, from the app Hooks or Nuzzle to my Flipboard magazines, I can't choose which magazine to share to because I don't see them. The list with my magazines is totally empty. That bug is probably Flipboard's fault though, and not iOS 9, because that probably is because Flipboard needs to be updated for iOS 9. And another bug is that Google's Hangouts app shows notifications all the time. Even if I don't have any new notifications, it always shows that I have new notifications on the app icon. And some older apps like Editorial for iPad and iPhone crashes when I try to open it sometimes, and that's also probably because they need to be updated for iOS 9. All these bugs has made me switch back to the final version of iOS 8.3 for now, but hopefully a coming beta version of iOS 9 will be more stable and have fewer bugs. I will link to Rich Wood's video down below in the description text, and also to his website, so go check that out. Okay, bye!